He finally responded to me. JJ Watt, Dan, has, I guess we put out a clip of me on social media saying, enough about socks. How about some sacks? And JJ,
it was a good line by you.
JJ Watt has responded saying, "Are we still doing this, Stu? Do we need to hug it out?" And you know what? I think we do need to hug it out. I would love to hug
You're
JJ
such an
Watt.
easy mark. Yeah, you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to.
What a bogus argument you've been ripping him for 10 years, and all he does is acknowledge you on social media.
Yeah.
And you roll over on your back after saying today, how about instead of socks, some sacks?
Yeah.
But I think what he likes the most about it is the acknowledgement that J.J. Watt has known about Stugotz's escapades for quite a while.
Yes.
Because he said, "Are we still doing this, Stu?"
Mm-hmm.
And that means Stugotz's voice matters.
Yes.
Because he's heard about it and ignored it, tried to ignore it as long as possible.
And now it's just a play on how do I get him on stupidity and we hug it out together. That's it. That's what I'm angling for.
It's 10 years of ripping someone so they can then do you a favor. I love the Stugotz move. Speaking of which, Scott Van Pelt joins us now. I don't know how many times you were bothering him at the Masters, at Augusta, asking him to join us today.
I peppered him with a couple of early texts, and then I realized Scott Van Pelt, very busy during Masters week, and I decided to leave him alone.
It is nice to see your smiling face. You look radiant. Are you now in the middle of the happiest time of your life, Scott? A combination of the Masters and fatherhood and moving back to Washington and doing a job you love. Are you filled? Are you at the top of the game right now of happiness?
No, because I have to figure out how to game the game like you guys, and then I will have reached the summit. But in all seriousness, I mean, look, it's a fun time on the calendar. I enjoy Masters Week. I'm sorry I didn't see Stugotz, but he didn't need to interact with me in any way, shape, or form to have a spectacular week. Being home is great. Otis the dog sends his regards. He's always posted up back there to make sure things don't go sideways here. But we're good. I'm thankful, and it's great to be back with you guys, and I'm thrilled for everything that's gone, how it's gone for you.
I wasn't in, thank you, Scott. I wasn't in full Stugotz mode at the Masters. I was there with my dad, who's 80. My brother came the next day. So I really wasn't pushing Scott hey, can I get into the broadcast booth? Can I hang out with you? Can I show my dad around? Because Scott gave me very good advice. You don't need any of that. You're at Augusta. You're there for the first time with your dad. Just let it happen. Just wait for it. And on Friday, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited. But Friday, sitting at the 15th hole, 16th tee box, watching the guys shoot into 15 and the tee shots on 16, I knew exactly what it is Scott was talking about. It is the absolute best event I've ever been to.
I would just ask, because I always try to govern myself, Dan and Stugotz, when it comes to this. Because, look, hyperbole is sort of what we do. And it would be easy to be over the top about that place. But I always ask, when someone's seen it for the first time, I asked you, Stugotz, I said, did I oversell it? And you said, you can't. It's the kind of thing that has to be seen and experienced to really get. And if it's not your thing, I understand and I appreciate that too. But if you just think, hey, I should go there, I wonder what it's like, then you should, because you'll see what it is. And I think it's just one of one. There's just nothing else in sports that quite feels like that place does.
Well, you're good with words. Explain it to us.
It's a feeling, really. It's especially like look, Saturday it felt cold. It's windy and it's cold. But even on a lousy day, you're still you know that there's it's the one place you go every year. It's this year felt remarkable because Tiger was back in the arena, and it was the first time, Dan, I've ever seen him compete where the outcome was irrelevant to the joy of being simply able to compete. So that felt cool. And then the sun comes out Sunday, it's 75, the sun's out, it's immaculate. There's just nothing that's quite out of place. And I don't know. It's for me, it's just the fact that I started going there a long, long time ago, and life has changed in wonderful ways. You become somebody's partner, and you become a dad, and you look forward to coming back to them, but you're grateful that you get to do this. It's just, for me, it's an all-encompassing thing that has come to represent the week I look forward to most of the year.
He hosts the midnight edition of SportsCenter, obviously, and he'll be calling the first 2 rounds of the PGA Championship on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Can you tell us about the egg salad sandwich?
Delish.
It's not my thing. I don't eat it. So I could, but I'd be lying. I don't eat it. It's not my. I could tell you about the chicken breast sandwich, delicious. I can tell you about what people do with pimento and cheese and barbecue. They put it together, sort of a hybrid.
What?
But is that what you did?
Blew my mind is what you just did.
That is Chris Cody. He wasn't there. He was just dreaming about the food you're describing.
Sandwich,
he was just
yes.
Stugotz was supposed to bring him a pimento sandwich. He did not. He forgot.
They don't travel well, Dan. I'll tell you.
I know, but Chris wanted it anyway. He wanted it that way. I understand that was one of the dangers involved. That a sandwich of any kind probably wouldn't travel very well.
I would tell Scott though, I don't like egg salad either, and I tried the sandwich there because I was so hungry. They were out of some of the other sandwiches by the time I got around to one of the food tents, and I'm telling you, it was amazing, absolutely amazing. Yeah. But
let's be honest, it's the state of mind you're in. It's pretty much anything you open up out of that green bag, you're bound to just. It's when they talk about recency bias. I think this is sort of. I think this is location bias. I think you're just gonna sing the praises no matter what because you're just transported emotionally already.
Can you tell us what Tiger means and what can be expected from him over the next 5 years? Because it would be wildly improbable for him to actually get to the number of majors that he wants to get to and be better than Jack Nicklaus, right? That would be, you would bet against that. It'd be one of the few times in your life that you'd be betting against Tiger Woods.
Correct. But I do believe, Dan, that he recalibrated. I know for a fact he wanted once for his son Charlie and his daughter Sam to see Dad be the guy they heard about, and then they did in 19 when he hugged them in the same spot, famously where he hugged his mom and dad in 97. That said, what he is still, and it's amazing to me. Scottie Scheffler arrived the number 1 player in the world. He arrived having won 3 of 5, and then he won the Masters. And yet, in talking to my friends on this day, Tiger's the thing everyone wants to talk about, and Tiger's the thing everyone wanted to watch over the course of this week. It's remarkable. And so it's a dangerous / scary proposition for the game that he still occupies that singular place where he's the thing. Because at some point, his body will betray him and time will beat him because that's how the game goes, right? But I think what I expect between now and the next time we see him, Dan, is that he will commit to the work to try to give his body the best chance that he can actually compete and try to win again. Because this was a one-off, I believe. I believe this was, you heard him talk about being thankful. You saw him shoot 78 and smile. That's not how the guy's wired. But this week it was. But I think it's a one-off. I think the next time we see him, he will have committed to the work to give his body a chance to try to have it be not 1 round under par, maybe 2 or 3 or maybe 4, because that's just who he is. And until he can't, that's the way he will largely think.
Scott, in the short term, him just playing, competing, finishing was great because that tells you, hey, he's going to be even healthier for the next major, healthier for the next major, healthier for the next major. I do think he'll win another major, and that's for the next 5 years. What I worry about is I'm sitting there and I'm kind of absorbing everything that's going on at Augusta is I would say 80% of the people there are following a Tiger Woods who's not really in contention, and I worry about the game once Tiger Woods is no longer a part of the game.
No doubt. That's what I'm alluding to, Stugotz, is that at some point, right? I mean, Jordan plays no more. At some point, Tom Brady will play no more. But those sports have more ready-made stars to fill the gap. I mean, no one singularly fills Jordan's space. Brady's different because the NFL is a whole other animal. I mean, you have people that are already kind of ready to fill in that gap. You're right. His place isn't fillable by one person, and even by a bunch of really talented players. Colin Morikawa is charismatic and fantastic, and Scottie Scheffler's 25, and there are a wave of young players who are really, really talented. But I always come back to the default. Do they make you feel something? And Tiger makes sports fans feel something. And you saw it and felt it on Sunday as he walked up 18. The way they received him, the way Tiger smiled walking off, said to me, and I've known him a long time, that he was genuinely grateful to be back. He sat in a hospital bed for months. I mean, contemplating his own golfing mortality, hell, his own mortality as a human, So that's a place that's easy to feel grateful, and I know he did this week. But that'll fade, and then he'll be pissed off that he shot 78,
You made a skeptical face when Stugotz said that he thinks that Tiger will win another major.
I did, because it's really hard to do. And I think that 19, when he won, I believe in his heart of hearts, he had to know that could have ended the book for majors. But in his brain will fight his heart, because his brain will say, F that, I'm just going to get back in the gym and keep grinding. But the depth of young talent and how difficult it is to win. Look at Rory, hasn't won a major since 2014. He's pretty good. It's hard to win one. He's already got 15. So he told me 100 years ago, never bet against me, and I get it. But Dan, I would have bet that he would never have played again after what happened last year, and there he was this week. So that sort of it proves why I should never be skeptical until the time comes that he says no mas.
The back does take out a whole bunch of great golfers. So you think he's in what kind of pain right now? Stugotz reported erroneously and recklessly that he was popping Advils and wincing.
I'm telling you, on the range before the first round, I saw some wincing. I don't know if it were Advil. It could have been Bear. I'm not 100% certain, but something was being taken, which is fine because I take Advil before every round. I mean, who doesn't?
Right. Who doesn't?
Right.
Your man's out here. Like, you sorted out. Get your pain pill straight, Stugotz. I think that the back is not even really talked about. That got fused together, for God's sake. He's had multiple back surgeries. So you have that on top of a leg that we have multiple compound fractures. So he's good at giving you an idea, but not the specifics, and always has. But I mean, it was the way he described, multiple ice baths, trying to get down swelling. He just was trying to manage this in such a way that he could play. But clearly it was a challenge just to get up and down. But as the point was made and then beaten into the ground, it's a hilly golf course, Augusta. Stugotz could speak to just how hilly. The next few that they're going to play in the majors aren't nearly as bad. So hopefully the pain gets better over time, and he figures out how to manage the competition piece.
Should they give him a golf cart? How would Charles Schwartzel
For
react
the love
if
of
they were like,
God.
you know what,
It's a
we're making a
They're
Tiger
saying
Woods
he's
rule.
so important.
He's so important to golf. We're gonna get his. If that was walking the course was a bigger issue than his actual swing. Give the man a golf cart. He'll play till he's 55.
Who says no?
He wouldn't take it. He wouldn't take it. He just wouldn't. I mean, he'll ride. He was allowed to ride one with his son, but not. He just wouldn't do it. I mean, it's the game. It's the game, Cody. It's how much it means, the integrity of the game. He's not going to be out there, swirling around on a easy go and hopping off and playing. That ain't going to happen.
I'm so done with people talking about how hard it is to walk these hills when
Dan,
when
you go
You've
watch
never
Augusta.
walked these hills.
I want Dan to
Are
go
you
watch
kidding me?
Augusta.
Stugotz's dad just
80-year-old
walked
father.
it.
My dad was
just
exhausted.
He's probably in pain right now.
That
after
was Thursday. My dad is sore. That was Thursday. He walked the entire course. Friday, my dad sat his ass down 15, 16 and watched the entire tournament.
I know some people down there, Le Batard. We should get you up there and have you just wander and see how that works out for you.
Yes, please.
That's fine. I'll walk 18 holes.
He's threatening you with grassy
No,
hills.
Come on, that's how he is.
Let's see how you
4
fare.
days.
4 days.
Four straight days.
And
Dan.
practice rounds.
In a row, Le Batard.
The flight is going to get me more. The flight, if you don't make it a first class flight, I'm just going to get into, if you make me fly commercial into Augusta's airport, it's going to hurt me more than the damn hills you guys are saying. This is so goddamn arduous. Like, I mean, come on, knock it off.
Hills are named Flowering Crab
They're
Apple.
professional athletes.
You're right. No one's saying for everyone else it's not. We're talking about for the man whose leg was broken in half. It's the context of that. That's all we're saying. The man's leg was broken in half. So no one said it about. You didn't hear one say, "Boy, it's tough for Scottie Scheffler to walk." No, of course he didn't. He's 25 and he's ambulatory.
It's because
Tiger Woods is out there on one leg that's half the size of the other. That's all.
That's because no one's making excuses for Scottie Scheffler.
Right. Oh.
Well, he didn't break his leg. What are you talking about?
No, let's break Dan's leg right now and have him go walk Augusta a year later. Let's do that, okay?
I would hate to be around Harry Higgs the second you tell him someone else has to get a golf cart.
My man, the big rig was out. He just missed getting back for the top 12 gets back. I was so pissed he didn't get back. He's going to get back another way. That's my man.
Rig.
Big rig Higgs.
Great name.
I love that he just said, my man, the big rig.
Could I just name a random golfer on tour and you have a nickname for every single one of them?
Well, the big rig, we dubbed the big rig because he's the big rig. I think I'm vacationing with his family moving forward. We became very fast friends at Augusta.
I feel like that's exactly how that should happen. That Scott Van Pelt, that is nothing surprising about the fact that Scott Van Pelt vacations with the big rig.
So jealous.
Can you, the Scheffler winning, whatever it is, $8 million in 57 days after not winning 62 previous times with the previous bag holder, is it something as simple as that? Can you quantify for us what that means, that he has won $8.5 million the last 57 days after changing caddies?
There's something about that marriage. There's a little bit of a sensei kind of a thing, right? That you just get with someone that sort of pushes the right buttons. Ted Scott's a guy that was with Bubba when he won a couple of Masters. You can't underestimate that because we can quibble about whether it's difficult to walk, but it is a golf course that we're understanding how to play it is incredibly important. And the caddy clearly knows that, but they already arrived having won 3 times. So sometimes it just, the player just needs to have his or her mind freed up and not get in his or her own way. And a caddy can really help with that. But ultimately, player hits the shot. A caddy can only help so much. Scheffler he was bound to be really good at some point and do this. But 4 and 6 is a whole lot, particularly when you're carrying the lead for a couple of days. And it really does wear on your brain because you're thinking about, holy crap, what if I do this? So this isn't a shock that he's won, Dan, but this volume of winning, I mean, it doesn't happen like this too often.
Scott, it's weird because Spieth has a green jacket, but I feel like that 12th hole is going to haunt him for the remainder of time.
It's got a lot of people. Look at Cameron Smith. He birdies 11 to get close. You're thinking, here we go. Maybe you got a chance, and then you put one in the water. Tiger wins in 19 because not 1, not 2, but 3 guys all in and around that group. Molinari, Finau, and Brooks Koepka all put it in the water on 12. I mean, it's a hole that's taken a bite out of a lot of players. But I mean, here's the beauty of that, Stugotz. I mean, it'll haunt him, but you got a green jacket, you get to come back forever, and you can maybe figure it out. You got the rest of your life to keep playing right, and put that to bed. But I mean, again, it's a difficult hole, and it always seems to get somebody on Sunday.
Does the authority, Scott Van Pelt, have any quibbles with Stugotz's top 5 list of favorite golf phrases to use? Give him your top 5, and we'll see what Scott Van Pelt knocks out, what he keeps, and what he inserts for himself.
Number 5, chunked it.
Number 4.
Now, chunked it isn't good for me, like if I say it about myself, but I love saying it to someone else that I'm playing golf with.
Favorite golf phrases to say. Number 4.
Almost jarred it.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Number 3.
Got a great kick.
Number 2.
In the drink.
There you go.
And number 1.
Mulligan.
These clearly are these would be germane to you and me playing, not a lot of that out on tour. That's what you mean, right?
Yes, it's just me playing, not you,
correct.
Scott.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, because Cam hit it in the drink and then would have liked a mulligan, but that obviously wasn't in play. Right. I got no issue with any of it. I always say the term useful, which is a tip of the cap.
I say it the way you say it. If I'm on the golf course and somebody hits a good shot, I'm like, useful.
He does.
Useful. Well, that's just me doing Sam Torrance, and here's the story behind that. It's a Scotsman by the name of Sam Torrance who's a legend, an all-time legend. And I'm at the Open Championship. We're out. It's late. I see Sam Torrance. Sam's got to be on the BBC the next morning at like 7 bells, okay? So I wake up, I turn on the television, and some swinger's playing a hole. No one knows who he is. He hits it on the green, and it's a 50-50 whether Sam might have been asleep in the booth, but you hear the ball hit the green, and then all Sam says is, it's useful. And it wasn't a great shot, but I think he just woke up and heard it on the green and said useful. So I have forever said useful, which is my homage to Sam Torrance. And when I saw Sam at the Masters probably 5-10 years ago, he just gave me this big hug. He's like, everybody says useful. They tell me useful, useful. I'm like, well, it's me just giving you a hug. Sam Torrance is the best.
Scott, I want to bring you in on a game we were playing earlier. I need you to close your eyes right now. All right?
All right, that's useful.
There's a 6-4-3 double play. Who hit it?
First
Alex
name
Rodriguez.
Oh, wow. Okay, there you go. Yeah.
I had Paul Konerko.
Mike LeBatard.
That is the laziest dog I have ever seen, Scott.
I'm jealous of that thing.
He's got no interest in anything that's going on.
Doing
here.
what a dog does, man.
That's Otis. He's a little long in the tooth, Dan. He's just here to make sure that stuff doesn't get sideways. But that's Otis. That's his spot, man.
You are one of the few faces in this industry that makes me smile every time I see it, sir. Thank you for stopping by. It's nice seeing you.
I meant what I said. I'm thrilled for you guys. Keep doing what you do. You guys are charting your own course, and I appreciate it. I'm here anytime.
Thank you, Scott.
Be well, brother.
Thank you, sir.